Welcome to Premier League Predictions Week 23, and like normal I'm going to be predicting every single game of this week against ChatGPT and the Random Football Scoreline Generator. These are the results. The Random Football Scoreline Generator battered me and ChatGPT. But guess what? ChatGPT got 1 point. The Random Generator's playing amazing, and ChatGPT, oof. Roblox, oof, 100%. But let's get predicting to see if I can take over ChatGPT once again. First game is West Ham United versus Sunderland. Sunderland won against Crystal Palace. Sunderland had it under control at their own stadium. But here, they're away from home, and their away record compared to their home record is like night and day. I don't think Sunderland are going to win. West Ham are desperate. They are desperate to stay up. They went on to win against Spuds. That's right, a sack of Spuds, the sack of potatoes. And they had 17 shots out of only 38% possession. They had barely any attacking momentum, but they utilised their possession really well. Somerville is cooking for West Ham. They're not losing this. I don't want to go for a win because I'm still not completely convinced over one game for West Ham. So I'm going 1-1. It's going to be a close game. Remember, Sunderland did get battered against Brentford even though they beat Crystal Palace. So Sunderland aren't all daisy and pixies. So 1-1 makes sense. 3-2 to West Ham United, the Random Football Scoreline Generator predicts. Random Generator has beaten us, battered us back to back. So West Ham could win this.
West Ham at home should have just enough quality, but Sunderland won't roll over and will nick chances on the counter. This feels scrappy, physical, and decided late. 2-1 to West Ham, it's going to be close.
Over to Craven Cottage, it's Fulham versus Brighton and Hove Albion. Both these teams are smack right in the middle of the table practically. Fulham lost to Leeds in the last game. Could have easily been a 0-0 draw, but to be fair, Leeds was more the dominant side. And Fulham, yet again, are lackluster in scoring goals. I think they might score one because they're at Craven Cottage, but other than one goal, I don't see them scoring any more. And Brighton, I think Brighton has such a good squad. A squad that should be competing for Europe. And guess what? Even though Brighton are in 12th, they are still very close to Europe. Only a few points off of Europe. It is so close in the table. Between 4th place Liverpool and 12th place Brighton, there is just 6 points. Brighton have been drawing loads. And so have Fulham. Fulham have gotten 2 draws in the last 5 games. Brighton have got 3 draws in the last 5 games. And there's only 1 point separating Fulham and Brighton. It has to be a draw. There's no way there's any other result in this. 1-1. They're both practically in the same position in the table. Fulham to lose 2-0 to Brighton. I think Brighton on paper have a better squad. If you compare it statistically, they probably have been playing better this season. So it makes sense why Random Generator's going Brighton.
Brighton will dominate possession while Fulham stay compact and dangerous on transitions, and neither side really takes full control for long spells. 1-1 draw. It's going to be tight and tactical.
Burnley versus Tottenham. Tottenham, you won 2-0 against Dortmund. You won a game. That's good, but now you're facing Burnley. You're not going to win against Burnley. If Liverpool and Manchester United couldn't win against Burnley, Tottenham, you are cooked. Absolutely cooked. But not cooked completely. Burnley still can't win, and they've just been drawing. And I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Tottenham, you haven't been convincing. I know you beat Dortmund, but before that, you're not convincing enough. I think you still can hit top 10 because I think your squad is good if all your players are actually fit. But going against Burnley, Humphreys off the line, defensive brilliance, last-ditch tackles is what Burnley has done against Man United and Liverpool. And both Man United and Liverpool got 30 shots to Burnley 7. So even if Tottenham has 30 shots, Dubravka's got them in the back pocket. Humphreys has got them in the back pocket. Kyle Walker has got them in the back pocket. The defence of Burnley has got Tottenham's attack in the back pocket. It's going to be a draw. Burnley are drawing loads. They've drawn against the likes of Liverpool and Man United, who are all the way up there. So why can't they draw against Tottenham, who are an inconsistent mess? Burnley, Tottenham to win 2-1. I see where it comes from. They did beat Dortmund 2-0. And Burnley are in the relegation zone.
Burnley will work hard early, but Spurs' pace and movement should stretch them as the game goes on, especially after halftime when Burnley tire. 3-1 to Spurs, it's going to open up late.
Manchester City versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves, defensively under Rob Edwards, you have improved significantly. But their goal scoring, yes, in the last 4 games they have been undefeated. They had scored 5 goals in the last 4 games. 5 goals in the last 4 games isn't amazing. They didn't score any against Newcastle. And I think against Man City, they are due a win. Because they're such a good squad, they're such a good team, and they're at home, surely, second place versus 20th, Wolves are 20th, Man City is second. Surely Man City, even though they haven't won for 4 consecutive games in the Premier League, they lost to Bodo Glimt 3-1. Surely Man City are going to win this. They bought Mark Gay, they've got Semenyo balling, they've got Erling Haaland, which is a beast. Wolves, defensively, you're going to hold them off enough. It's going to be quite boring. It's probably going to be 0-0 for a lot of the game. Classic possession style football where Man City doesn't actually progress to go into the opposition's penalty box. They're going to be passing it, not making any progress. Man City, it's going to be 0-0, and then a lapses in concentration from Wolves' defence, and Man City are going to go and win this 2-0 at home, backed by the home fans. Man City have the quality edge over Wolves. Man City to lose 3-1 to Wolves. Man City will be having flashbacks if this happens from their terrible form.
City should suffocate Wolves from minute 1 with constant pressure, waves of attacks, and barely any resistance once the first goal goes in. 4-0 to Man City, it's going to be pure domination.
Bournemouth at home versus Liverpool. Liverpool, you have to win this. You had 32 shots, and you played well versus Burnley. Ekitike looked fire. Wirtz looked fire. He even scored a goal, which is crazy. He's finally scoring goals. How will that is finally paying off? He's not just scoring goals, he's actually looking good on the ball, which is fantastic. But other than that amazing goal, all their shots are weak. The reason why Humphreys managed to clear it off the line was because that pass, it was a pass, it wasn't a shot. Some of their shots were just like a pass. It was poor shooting. And when they did try and whip the ball into the right side of the net, Dubravka was there to save it. And yes, these were good saves by Dubravka, but any Premier League keeper could dive and make those saves that Dubravka did. The shooting, there was nothing wrong other than the shooting for Liverpool. And against Bournemouth, I think Liverpool are going to win 2-1. Liverpool are better than Bournemouth. That's literally it. Liverpool are just better, and I can't imagine Liverpool drawing again. I don't think there's going to be any more than 2 goals Liverpool are going to score, because their shooting against Burnley was meh. I mean, Bournemouth haven't looked the best themselves. They have been doing okay, but really, they no longer have Semenyo, and they are worse than Liverpool on paper. Liverpool got a fantastic win against Marseille, winning 3-0. They're going to bounce off of that win, Liverpool, and win this 2-1. Bournemouth 1-1 with Liverpool. I could see this actually happening, considering Liverpool have gotten 4 back-to-back draws.
Bournemouth will have moments at home, but Liverpool's pressing and depth in attack should overwhelm them once the tempo rises. 3-1 to Liverpool, it's going to be comfortable in the end.
Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park versus Chelsea. Chelsea are winning this 1-0. This is like a 1-0 all over. Chelsea in the last game against Paphos in the Champions League, they won at 1-0. They beat Brentford 2-0. Sanchez is on fire. What a game he had against Brentford. He prevented the likes of Igor Thiago scoring. He prevented Shardy. He prevented all these amazing shots and great moments Brentford had. Sanchez is a good goalie, it looks like. Back-to-back clean sheets for Chelsea. Liam Rezonier is off to a great start. And away from home against Crystal Palace, now missing Mark Gay. Oliver Glance is going to leave at the end of the season, so maybe in the back of his mind he's thinking, I don't have much fight for this club anymore. So that's a negative. There's loads of negatives. Crystal Palace have like 7 unavailable players for this game. They're missing Mark Gay, which is a massive player to miss. And overall, they haven't won for like 8 or 9 games. They lost to Sunderland. And I do feel like Oliver Glance's football is going to prevent Chelsea from thrashing Crystal Palace the way Crystal Palace play defensively, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The way Chelsea are playing, it's going to be too much. Chelsea are going to create too much. It's going to be 0-0 for the majority of the game, just like it was for Aston Villa when Crystal Palace played Aston Villa. But this time Chelsea has the quality edge over Crystal Palace, and they're going to win at 1-0. Chelsea, I'm really impressed with you at the moment. Keep up the good work. Your structure as a defence, as a midfield, looks really good. You're going to win this 1-0. Crystal Palace winning 5-2 can never happen. This will be Random Generator in the nutshell against Chelsea.
Palace will be organized and annoying to break down, but Chelsea's individual quality should decide it with a couple of key moments. 2-1 to Chelsea, it's going to be nervy.
Newcastle United at St James's Park versus Aston Villa. Newcastle are undefeated in the last 4 games in the Premier League. Won 3 in a row, then drew 0-0 to Wolves. I fell asleep in that game. That pretty much tells you everything about that game. Newcastle couldn't score. Newcastle beat PSV 3-0. PSV are like the best Eredivisie team, the best team in Dutch football at the moment, and Newcastle beat them 3-0. Not just the result, but they played absolutely better than PSV. But Harvey Barnes scored, Wissa scored and got an assist. Gordon scored. Oh my gosh, those front 3 amazing. Gordon probably man of the match. Newcastle are balling at St James's Park. Newcastle are undefeated in I don't know how many games, but they're undefeated in a lot of games. And the fact that Unai Emery has went out to say he's not confident that Aston Villa are contending for the top 4. That's what Aston Villa's own manager said. That gives me amazing confidence with the way Newcastle have been playing, which is very good. And Newcastle are home. Home advantage is such a big advantage. And the fact that Aston Villa lost to Everton at home, your own manager is saying you're not going to reach top 4. Newcastle are winning this 2-1. I'm confident as ever Newcastle are going to win this. And Unai Emery has topped it over the edge to say Newcastle are going to win. Crystal Palace winning 5-2 can never happen. This will be Random Generator in the nutshell against Chelsea.
Both sides love to attack, both leave space, and neither can fully shut the other down across 90 minutes. 2-2 draw, it's going to be end-to-end chaos.
Brentford versus Nottingham Forest. Brentford aren't losing this. I know they lost to Chelsea, but it's against Nottingham Forest. They're in 17th. But Nottingham Forest, they got a 0-0 draw versus Arsenal. If they got a 0-0 draw versus Arsenal, defending really well, the fact that Brentford couldn't score against Chelsea, I think Nottingham Forest can get a point here, 1-1. I think Brentford are a mid-table side. I don't think they're going to get hit Europe. I don't think they've been playing enough to hit Europe. I say playing enough. I mean, I don't think they've been playing well enough to hit Europe. But at home here, they're not losing to Nottingham Forest. It's going to be a draw. Nottingham Forest are staying up. Brentford are staying up. It's going to be a draw, as simple as that. Nottingham Forest impressed me defensively. Brentford at home, they're just not going to lose. They've got too good of a good home record. Brentford to win against Nottingham Forest 1-0. Close game. Could easily happen.
Brentford versus Nottingham Forest. Brentford's structure and home advantage should edge a game where Forest struggle to create clear chances. 2-0 to Brentford. It's going to be controlled and professional.
Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium versus Man United. If Man United do that to Shirky, maybe they can do it to Martinelli. Man United, that was crazy against Man City in that derby. I'm backing you up from now on against really good teams. I say that and I'm going for an Arsenal win. Boo-hoo. Arsenal are home. They just beat Inter Milan 3-1, proving they can start scoring goals again. I think that's really big proof, as well as home here, that they're going to win against Man United. Man United are good against... They seem to play really well against high quality teams. That's not all the time. And they're facing Arsenal, who are just better than Man United in every single way. Man United are going to give it a good shot, and I'm so tempted to go for a draw, but I'm too scared. I'll tell you what, Man United, if you at least get a point against Arsenal, from now on against really good teams, I'm going to give you 3 points. Dare I say it. But Arsenal at home, they just beat Inter Milan 3-1. Surely they're winning this 2-1. 0-0 between Arsenal and Man United. Definitely could happen. 0-0 seems to be an Arsenal scoreline at the moment.
Arsenal should dominate territory and possession, but United's counter-attacking threat keeps it tense right until the final whistle. 2-1 to Arsenal, it's going to be intense.
Everton versus Leeds United. 0-0 Arizona. If this isn't 0-0, then my name is Mr. Tiddlypush, because this looks like a 0-0 all over. Has to be 0-0. I've got an itchy ear. Has to be 0-0. Leeds United in the last game won 1-0. Metcha coming in clutch with a fantastic cross by Ethan Ampadu. Mwah. Beautiful. Leeds United are playing like a top class side. Everton just beat third place Aston Villa 1-0. Both teams got a clean sheet in the last game. Last time these two teams met, only a penalty made Leeds win. Leeds won the last game 1-0. Look at it. All these games are low scoring. Everton normally, not all the time, but most of the time, get clean sheets and low scoring games. So considering Leeds can never win away from home, considering both teams are having low scoring games, both teams have had their fair share of 0-0s this season, tell me another scoreline than 0-0. It's just 0-0. 3-0 Everton. Come on now. Leeds look way too good for Everton to just thrash them.
Everton, with home advantage and solid defense, will look to control the game. Leeds, known for their high pressing, will push hard. It'll be tight, but Everton's experience should give them the edge. Prediction 2-1 to Everton. It's going to be a close one.
Goal of the week. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. It was a really good bicycle kick by Brighton. I'm gonna attempt his name. Goal of the week was Costoulas. Hopefully you're enjoying your new year. Toodaloo.